All right. Welcome back to Dank Scott Traders Hub. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the late delay. I had to first fix some of the things and I was late. Apologies, guys. But now we are on. This is our very first analysis in May 2026. By the way, happy Labor's Day. Today is Labor Day. Those who are workers, even if you're not employed, but you are self-employed and you probably work from home, whatever, like me. Happy Labor's Day, because you labor. All right, so today is the very first day in May and we are getting started. Remember, I told you we are making some shifts in our strategy, in our assets, our dashboard of assets. So we did make those changes. By your guidance, by your votes, we were able to select gold, boom 1000 and v75. So congrats, guys, and thanks for doing the voting on the polls. So as we speak right now, we are going to be starting our analysis, but as you always know, we start with the prayer and then we get into the analysis right after that. So without any further ado, we are going to start our prayer. So let's go. Father, we say thank you for today. Thank you for your grace. Thank you that it is the 1st of May 2026. Thank you for giving us the strength to always labor and use our hands to work. And thank you that today is our day as laborers in the nations, Lord. We say thank you. Thank you that we're back here for yet another analysis session, and we know that today is going to be different. This month is going to be a month of great harvest, a month of great profits in this kind of business that we're engaged in. We give you praise, Lord, for the profits we're about to make this month. We give you praise for the entries and exit setups you're giving us today. We say thank you for every trade setup that we are going to be waiting on. We know in waiting there is profits. In waiting there is much more than we can afford. So we say thank you. We give you all the glory and honor. In Jesus' name we've prayed and believed. Amen. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. Now, without any further ado, I told you we'll be changing the structure and the assets that we'll be trading, but we will still stick to our strategies like I told you. So today, since it is May and we are changing, we are getting back, we are starting afresh. We are going to be starting with gold. We're going to be starting with gold as our analysis. We are going to be starting with gold. Just a minute. Change this and put okay. All right, so gold, here we go. All right, so what happened yesterday? Now every asset I'm gonna be giving it, since we have 2 or 3 assets, we will analyze them, make market overview of each and of each asset. Then at the end I'll be coming back to give the entry opportunity setup, the trade setup, the entry opportunities that we may be anticipating on these very assets. Remember, I told you we'll be trading XAUUSD, which is gold, and boom 1000 and volatility 75. Those are the assets we'll be focusing on. Then if we still have time in our 1 hour span, then I will let you guys to tell me which other asset that we can analyze in the charts that we can analyze. Just to be jotting it in the comment section when I ask for it. All right, gold, let's go. Now definitely the market overview, you guys, those who were here yesterday, I told you what we were looking at yesterday. Ever since we started to analyze it, this is where we are currently. That is our all-time high of gold right there. So we saw it according to weekly, according to daily time frame. We've been on this level quite some months now, ever since it gave us that all-time high. So it pulled back to mitigate liquidity right here according to weekly and daily time frame. You can clearly see that, because this was never a break of structure right there. So this is a higher high, this is just a high. Price was looking for a change of character, it failed right here. This is our higher low right here. So this was never a change of character on weekly time frame. That means we are still bullish according to weekly time frame. According to daily time frame, this was also seen not to be a change of character at all according to daily time frame. So higher time frame, we are still bullish. That is a trend. So in all that happened, we knew what we wanted. Price to come to this fair value gap of daily time frame. It just touched it, never mitigated it fully. Then it dropped to look for this order block right here. Those who have been following us, you remember this. Now I'm on market overview. Yeah, so it came to mitigate that daily order block, and we waited. When it mitigated it, we started to go for the buys. That was last week. Last week we started the buys. Was it even last week? No, it was this week when price mitigated this order block. Now after mitigation, the change of character came through according to H1 and M15. We saw that change of character, and then pulling back and then giving us that good momentum of buys. Now let me show you according to H4. So this was our lower low according to H4. Now it has given us a lower high, so it's coming down below to mitigate this level, and then it can go with those highs. We saw this setup yesterday when price failed to drop. I mean, when price failed to break that high, which was our lower high according to H4, but right here it's our higher high according to H1. Price failed to break it, and I told you we'll be seeing a drop to come to these three levels. We have those three levels, one at 4,570 and the other one at 4,550. Those are the two levels that we'll be looking at. Now according to our fib, this is the range. That is the range. Price has now reacted at 50%, which is a good level for a risk entry. Please note, for a risky entry, it is a good level to enter now. But I want you to remember that there is also a better entry according to fib retracement level. Now for me to actually not make any decision right here is dependent on the rejection coming in from buyers. Looking at those previous 4 candles of H1 shows you the momentum of sellers, how strong the sellers are having the momentum, and clearly we are seeing that happening. We are seeing that the previous H1 candle closed with little rejection coming in from buyers. So we know that this current H1 that has just started, which is actually the current H4, is also going to drop. Why? Because look at that H4 candle. Look at that H4 candle. That was the H4 candle that has just closed. So we know that this right here, those who know how market structure works, how candlesticks work. We know the price is looking for is going to just create a wick, is looking for that. The early buyers, the early sellers right now on the new H4, it's gonna take them out probably and then drop later to mitigate our levels. Why? Because this is a strong sell momentum. It cannot just reverse like that and go to buys. That candle alone, that H4 candle alone, shows you how serious sellers are in continuing with the momentum of sales. All right, so enough of all that. This was yesterday's analysis to drop back here. So we know these are our levels, these two, this one and that one. This is just in the middle to give us the range. Price comes between the 61.8 fib retracement level and then or to this order block. This order block here is M15 order block right there. Let me show it to you. That is M15 order block. Why is it important? This is a valid order block because from that point it's where we saw price push all the way up there without any pullbacks at all. That was where we saw the high momentum of buyers engaging. This is where institutions pushed price to go forward with a lot of momentum. You can clearly see that. So we know that price is likely to come to these two levels. We have this order block which is between the fib retracement level, but also we have this which is the valid one, which I'm actually anticipating price to come back to. So the levels that I'm anticipating price to come back to today is 450, but price may do this. Price is likely to do this, then do a little bit of this, and then drop to that, and then from there it's gonna do this push up to take us all the way down to all the way up for a new higher high. So whatever you're doing, yes, M15, the CCI is already showing us that we are oversold. That is not important. That is not important. What is important is market structure, and right now we are strongly selling. We've just seen H4, what it has showed us, and we know it is still strongly selling. So right now I want to delete this. We made some money yesterday on that sell move when it was beginning, but then it played games when I lost track of the what was actually important. Yeah, I just forgot that. I just got carried away that it's likely to continue without doing any pullback, and that's how I messed up and failed to actually wait for that kind of a move, because that was a clear mitigation move to OB mitigation move to go back to that order block on M15 and then drop massively. That is what is happening. So as a matter of fact, we are still selling, and I've told you, you can clearly see that sales have now come in again to drop. Now we have this level, so when you start to buy here, don't be shocked, because it's likely to buy and then drop again later. Now this is gonna be my anticipation today. This is gonna be my anticipation, and we are likely to see a lot of traders around New York session come in around that time. This is where I'm likely to make good money. Now if you are a gold trader and you are a scalper, yes, you can come in around here, because it's gonna retest around this level. This is this level right here. It's gonna push back a little bit, probably back to such a level right here, and some buyers may come in only to be taken out later when they're still holding around that level. So I'm telling you way ahead, I told you we trade smart money. This is smart money. You know we deal with order blocks. This is our valid order block. There's no way it is just gonna leave it without mitigating it. There's no way. I'm not talking out of knowledge of any kind of sort. I'm talking about the experience in SMC that I've seen. But also I want to remind you that we are not market makers. Whenever the institutions find where to make the most money, they will go for it. As a matter of fact, we are currently at 50%. We are currently at 50% fib retracement level. Look at that. Is it? No. Let's go to H4. Let's go to H4. I'm looking at H4 right there. Right there. From there to there. Let me zoom in now. You'll be able to see that. We are currently at 50% right there, according to H4. That low, that high, and now it has dropped to 50%. So anything is possible. Price can choose to react on that level. These guys can choose to push our price from that 50% and go ahead, but price doesn't go just like that. This H4 is gonna take some time to close. We still have 4 hours, so we are likely to see a drop fast to these levels before this H4 closes. So be ready, knowing that our perfect move is likely gonna be right here. That's where I'm gonna look for my buy entries, right on this level, right on this level. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me according to as far as gold is concerned. Now let's go to the boom 1000. All right, so boom 1000. Right, so boom 1000, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we saw it, and we were to make some money. We wanted a pullback here. It never happened, and it continued with an uptrend. You can clearly see I wanted to sell below that level, but it was a fake breakout, so price continued with a breakout structure, an uptrend, and then later dropped, breaking this level. Look at that. This is where we saw our change of character according to M15, and then pulled back all the way where I told you we deal with SMC. Please, if you missed yesterday's analysis, you can go to this page, to this channel, and you'll be able to see yesterday's live stream, and you'll be able to look at the analysis that we had yesterday. So look at where price reacted back to that order block after giving us the change of character right here. Let me use this. After giving us the change of character right here, giving us our lower low here, price gave us that pullback all the way there. That is significant. In fact, for a swing trader, I can tell you to enter right now, because I believe we are on for this sell. Now, before I can give you the entry, let me just refresh back. Let's refresh our mind back to where it all started from. Yeah, according to daily time frame, this is where we are coming from. Let me just zoom out. Okay, let's go to weekly. This is where we're coming from. This was a valid order block on weekly time frame. Price came to it, and we became oversold from my entries, from my signal right there coming from CCR and RSI. Now, after reaching that level, we had our lower low according to daily time frame. Lower low went ahead to give us our lower high, and then dropped, fell to give us a new lower low, meaning market structure shift is being anticipated, because price failed to come and break this previous lower low according to daily time frame. And now we are currently seeing, according to H4, price giving us a change of character right there, going ahead and giving us our higher high. So we anticipate that it's now gonna drop to mitigate. Look at that order block right there, where this buy momentum started from. Now within this order block, we anticipate the H4, the M15 order block. That's where these two trend lines are, the trend line and the arrow are. That's where the M15 order block is, and that's why we were anticipating price to drop to it. Now, at first, we wanted price to mitigate this. Our anticipation was price to first mitigate this order block. Did it mitigate it? Seems it touched it. It just touched it. Looking at that, it just touched it and then started to drop. So that tells us that price is likely not to go back there for the buy, but first to mitigate this drop, to give us this drop, and then we come strongly with the buys. And that's what I'm gonna be looking at. Now let me go to H4, and clearly according to H4, looking at the CCI signal, we are still dropping. That is our signal, we are dropping. Now go to H1, we clearly see equal highs there. Some means we are also looking at dropping. This is the very level we saw the change of character according to H1. Clearly this is our lower low, so it has mitigated that order block. According to M15, that means now we are gonna be waiting for this massive drop on M15 to drop us all the way to this level. And I've told you this is the H4 order block. We have the M15 order block, but I'm likely going to go with the H4 order block or H1 order block 2 right about there. That will be giving us the very thing that we need, the very level that price is likely to first come back to before we see these buys actually come around. So for now, yeah, I'm gonna go to M5, wait for my entry. It's gonna be a sniper entry. Now look at this. When I talk about smart money and a top-down analysis, this is what I always talk about. Look at that. Look at that. We have a change of character. Price has given us a lower low, lower high, lower low. It has even broken that previous low to the upside. You can clearly see that. Means looking at CCI where our signal is, look at that. We know that now price is gonna try to do something like that. It can easily look for 61.8 fib retracement level, or it can as well go all the way to that order block. It can as well go all the way to that order block for mitigation. It can come to this level, like I've told you, it can come to that level, but it can as well go all the way to that OB and then drop. So how am I gonna trade this? Sorry, let me put it back. The way I'm gonna trade this is very simple. It's very simple. I'm just gonna wait for price to get there to that 61.8. I enter sales, but if it does go back all the way there, then I will enter another sell. Perfect. Now I want to let you know that sometimes price can as well come to this. So just those who know layering, this can be your case. Price to come to the breaker block where price has broken structure right about here, and then you enter your sales, and then you enter your sales right about there, or wait for it to go there, or on 61.8. All these are our entries, but we have to be very careful because M1 is not yet ready for the sales. It's actually going to give us buys according to M1. Looking at it, you clearly see what I'm talking about. M1 is gonna push for the buy before we can get in with a sell. So ladies and gentlemen, be patient. Boom 1000 we are going to sell it massively today. There's nothing good like having a setup, a trade setup, clear and ready to execute. That is what we are looking at today on Boom 1000. It's a clear trade setup ready to be executed. We will leave it at M15. I mean at M5. Let's now move to V75. Okay, so V75, this is volatility 75, ladies and gentlemen. What you've seen was a loss by this bot. In fact, it's one of those losses it has made in after some good time being profitable. Yeah, after some good time being profitable, I've just seen it lose today. Wow. All right, so let's analyze V75 manually. Okay, so what happened yesterday? Yesterday we were looking for that pullback. Never happened. It actually broke that level and dropped like we already wanted, because we knew sales were on. That's what happened. So this we can now delete it, can we? Because I see price is reacting to it. It's becoming our support resistance zone. Look at that. Price is coming back and forth, failing to break it. Will it now break it? Okay, before I can go into this, let's start from where it all began from, so that you guys can have the overview of this market. All right, so it's way down. Let's start from the daily time frame. According to daily time frame, clearly guys, you see where the structure we are in. We have our lows here, we have our highs up there, and price started to sell. The whole of yesterday it was selling. And now we are seeing a pullback according to how the day has started. Yesterday closed with minimal rejection. You can see that. It's understandable. But now the day has started strongly with buys. Look at that. There's rejection coming in from buyers. That candle there alone shows you that buyers are strongly looking at going back there. So probably we are going to see some sales tomorrow. Today is likely to be a buy day. That gives you an overview of the current market we are dealing with today. So having seen that, I know now we are looking for buys according to today. So what can I do, since I know that we are looking at buying this asset today? Down below here we have a resistance. Here we have a support resistance level according to M15 and H1. According to M15 actually, we have a support and resistance level. So according to M15, having seen that and this level, we have a change of character right about here. That change of character gave us market structure shift for the upside or for the uptrend. Now, having given us that, it reached that support resistance level and then gave us another change of character right there. That's how weird market can be. And then dropped. Where did it drop all the way back to this OB, where this high momentum buy started from? Look at that. And then the buy came through. High momentum still. Look at that. Look at that momentum of buyers coming from this level. Shows you that buyers want to break this support resistance level and push us all the way back to where this drop started from. So how are we going to trade this? Can we enter now? We may not enter. Can we enter when we probably see another pullback to this level? Maybe, maybe not. Can we enter when price actually breaks out of here? It's gonna be a short trade, so that means I may not enter. If it means I have to wait for price to go there, unless if I'm gonna be looking at scalping this. So according to M15, we are bullish, and I've already showed you the momentum coming in from our daily candles right there, and how H4 has been structured and what is happening currently. So buyers are on V75, that's for sure. We are going to be looking for them, but where are they going to be going back to? That's the question. This was never a change of character, I mean a break of structure, sorry. This is the very last order block on H4. That is the very last order block on H1. And then on M15, this is the very last order block on M15. So for me, I believe I'm gonna be waiting for price to come to that level for me to look for sales afterwards. So if I don't see a pullback to here, if I don't see a pullback to this level, then I'm not gonna enter buys. My anticipation is price to pull back to here, then I enter buys, maybe hold them to take me all the way there for that continuation of uptrend, right about there, something like that. That's why I'm gonna be anticipating this today, V75, a drop probably to this confluence area, then we get in with buys to break this support resistance level and take us all the way to that M15, order block right about there, and then we get ready for the massive sell which may happen tomorrow. All this I'm talking about, the sell may start tomorrow, it may not happen today. So depending on the momentum, guys, remember that, depending on the momentum. But as of me, this is my strategy, this is my structure that I'm gonna be following according to SMC, smart money, and price action. So that's what I'm gonna be looking at on V75. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about these assets. I told you we've so far analyzed gold and boom 1000. So gold has actually reached our level. You can clearly see what I told you about. I'm waiting for the buys. I'm gonna be waiting for the buys on gold. I've not sold. I missed that entry right there because yesterday I lost some money. Yes, I made some money, but I also lost some money when it failed to break that level after giving me this break of structure. So I lost some money on there, then I left it alone as it was consolidating with low momentum all the way, looking to get back to that order block. And then by the time I came to the market, it had already started to sell. I had no entry to make this kind of a move of sales. So that's why I'm gonna be patient and wait for the buys to mature on this asset, that is on gold. On boom 1000, I've told you it's a clear pullback move. If you are a scalper, you can as well actually make this buy move, which is gonna be scalping, which we're gonna be scalping. If you're a scalper, to push it all the way, you're gonna be looking at pushing it all the way back to a level like that, 61.8 fib retracement level, or what we call the supply zone, all the way back to the supply zone, and then or wait for price to pull back to that order block. That is a valid order block where that high momentum sales started from. So 2 levels of entry: risky entry at retracement level, then the perfect sniper entry at the major order block on M5, right about there, the valid order block right there for this drop to massively start. Those are my 2 levels I may look into for me to make any entries today on Boom 1000. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all that we wanted to talk about. Now this is a segment where you guys actually tell me some of the assets you want, some of the assets you want us to analyze. Since we've finished our 3 assets that we focus on starting from today and onwards, and now I welcome those assets. Doesn't have to be synthetic indices alone. You can as well tell me any asset in forex, maybe index, as long as they are part of the broker that I'm currently using. If you want to have the same broker that I'm using, kindly go to the description and of this live stream and pick that link and register your account. I'll be giving out some offers very soon. I'm working on some EAs that I want to be giving out for free, those who want them. So let's go. Comment on those assets that you want us to analyze before we can finish today's session. All right, seems that we are not getting any assets that you guys want to actually analyze. So let's do the recap and we call it a day. Let's do a recap and we call it a day. So we started with we started with gold. I told you things changed, so we start with gold now. So gold, my anticipation is going to be drop all the way to this level. If it fails to give us this kind of a pullback after reaching this level, then and goes all the way here, then I'll be making my entry immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'm gonna make my entries. Remember, the reason why this is the very valid order block that we were looking at is this order block right here was mitigated right there. There's nothing left there, unless if these guys are just looking for liquidity to take the stop losses right here, unless they are looking to take liquidity of the stop losses right here, unless they are doing that. But otherwise, my entries are here. My entries are here on this order block. Now, if that happens, I'll be making this entry, and I think I wanted us to be live when this is happening so that you guys can know when to make your decisions. So right about now, nothing that can hold us back but to wait. Then on Boom 1000, all we know is the price is gonna push us all the way up there to give us a pullback, either there or there. That's what we are going to be waiting for according to M5 and M1. So M1, in fact, I am likely to make this trade. I don't normally enter scalp trades, but I'm likely to enter this one if it actually gives me a reason to, if it gives me a reason to make this entry. So let me wait one more, probably the next 5-10 minutes is likely to give us this kind of a start of this pullback. But if it breaks this level right here, then I'll have no business, because I told you we are not market makers. Now this is a synthetic index, and it's run by an algorithm, so it means these guys can choose to push price a little bit down to take the stop losses here. So be ready if that happens. You have to have your confirmations. Any spike on this order block is a confirmation to me. Any spike on this order block is a confirmation to me to enter buys and have my tight stop loss just below here. That's it. All right, that's enough on Boom 1000. So we also talked about Volatility 75. Volatility 75 or V75, we are looking at buys today. Yesterday we were selling. Look at that candle, and closed with enough momentum. We know that the trend is still bearish. We are still looking at sells, but not today. Today we're actually looking at that pullback, and that's why we are looking at this move. We're going to be looking at pullback here or breakout there and react all the way there before we can come strongly with our sells, probably by tomorrow. But as of today, we are strongly looking at sells. So all you can do, all I'm waiting for is a drop here according to M5. If it happens, if it fails and breaks this level, then you can enter your risky entry of buys to reach that M15 order block. That's it. But as of today, know that we are looking for buys, not sells. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me. I was waiting for you guys to actually give me any other asset that you want us to analyze. We analyzed gold, we analyzed Boom 1000, and we've analyzed V75. I was waiting for you guys to give me any more asset to analyze for you before we can close in the comment section, but I haven't received any, so I'm giving you one more minute. If you have it, send it through and we analyze it before we can call it a day. One more minute and we are done and we're out of here. So let me wait for you guys. One more minute. At 11:42 I'll be closing today's analysis. As I wait for you guys, let me be checking on gold, because gold is gonna give us that kind of trade. It's It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Any of the news, guys? Are you expecting any news? I haven't checked the news. I won't be checking them today. I think I'll check them on Monday, since today is a Friday and it's the 1st of May and it's a Labor Day, so I'm not gonna be checking news. I'll check them after. Those who are on VIP signals, I'll be sharing that with you guys. But also I'll be sharing the most signals that I will be coming in today as far as trading is concerned. As far as trading is concerned. All right, that's enough. No more assets that you guys want, so let's call it a day, ladies and gentlemen. Happy May, and of course today is Labor Day, so happy Labor Day. As we continue to trade, remember to trade with risk management. Don't just rush into trades. Wait for them, wait for a confirmation, and be ready to execute when your confirmations have been met. Otherwise, it's a lovely day today. I wish you a good day. Happy trading. Bye bye.